Hi YouTube. Um, I had an emotional roller coaster this weekend, and it took me some time to figure out what the fuck happened. And I'm convinced that I don't know. It's like a whole narrative, so it's like that you have to look through all the games to understand because it's just like it's all connected. But so the first round, it was an over 1800 or over 17 over 1800 I think. So I was in the bottom half. So on the first round, I was playing the second seed. Okay, so I had prepared before the game started because I thought I might play him, and I thought he was going to play e4. So the only prep I did for this tournament was an e4, e5 for both colors, because for some reason I got the date mixed up in my head, and I was like the Thursday before, I was like, I'm gonna prepare next week for the tournament, and then I found out that the tournament was that weekend, so it's kind of hard to prepare for a tournament that's this weekend next week. Okay. Alright, so, but then he played d4, and I was like, okay, well, I'll do my best. And, we got to this position, right? And he went here. This is, I don't know exactly what this is called. I call it the Akobian King's Indian. Back in the day when I was a d4 player, I actually played this line as white, because I was like, what is this King's Indian shit? What is this? And I looked up a video, and I just like found an Akobian video, just like explaining the system. And there's one trick that like I would do to win games when I sucked. Or yeah, like fine, say that, or something less stupid. Or yeah, say we do this. And then here, okay, say I'm just trying to demonstrate the idea. Say I do nothing, and he goes queen c2. So if I go here, then I'm losing, because this is a threat, and this is a threat. So that was how I beat a lot of people when I was like a 1500, like experts and masters in Blitz at least, and sometimes over the board they would fall for this shit. So I was aware of that. And basically what I was thinking was, okay, so I just don't allow that, and then I'll be okay? Question mark. But I also just didn't know what to do against the system. So, it's a good surprise if you know you're playing a King's Indian player. 'Cause it's kind of, like, weird. I inserted a game here that for me to look at. This is what you're supposed to do. You know, you gotta get going, and they're just gonna have fucked up pawns, and it's just not a very good system for white, but it's tricky. So, but I was just thinking, okay, I'm just gonna, since I know he's putting his queen on c2, because it's like, why would you play this if you didn't get it from Akobian? Which he did. I asked him about it, and he said that he's been binging Akobian videos. So I was thinking, okay, well, I'll just play against the queen being on c2. So I went c6, because I didn't really understand. I don't know, I was just trying to play a normal move. And then I went knight a6, which is, I think, a really terrible move. I don't know exactly what I was thinking. Maybe I was just like... You can see how paranoid I am the whole game about queen c2. Like, everything I'm doing, like, this is just a bad move, because he wants to play a3 anyways, so it's like... Okay. But I thought maybe I would, like, get this going somehow, but, I mean... I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense. But, okay, he castled, and I went h6. And then I played bishop f5, because I'm still afraid of that one tactic. And now I'm threatening this, sort of. And then, you know, if I go here with a tempo, I have time to play a5 and go back. So he goes a3. And I was like, okay, so I successfully stopped the queen from coming to c2. So that means I can do this, right? Nope. Nope. What I failed to consider is that he takes with the f-pawn, and then my bishop is attacked. I was just thinking he takes with the h-pawn, and I just have a good position. You know. It's like, what's the problem with this? This looks good. I feel like I'm just, like, winning. Oh, he's down a piece too. Yeah, he can't do that. But yeah, he takes like this, and I was like, okay, so I'm losing. And now I'm just really upset, because it was the one thing I was trying to make not happen. And then it happened, and I felt like such a goof, for lack of a better word. So, but I tried to calm down and just like keep playing, but there's not much I can do at this point. I said, okay, maybe I try and save the bishops, maybe I can open this up, and maybe these will, you know, maybe I can do something, because his pawns are a little messed up. But he just goes back, and I went e5, and he just plays the rest of the game just really, really well, and I just had nothing to do. It was very sad. So I went here, and I was like, okay, so now maybe my knight on a6 makes a little sense, because I can do this, maybe. Sometimes even go here, or put pressure there. But he just plays queen d2. And I don't have a whole lot to say about this game. It was just like a very stupid blunder. And then he played like a master, so what are you gonna do? But now this is extremely annoying, because if he just leaves my king alone the way it is, I'm safe. But, you know, he's pestering me, and I don't have a great response. Because if I take... He's like doing this is very annoying. How I don't know how I'm supposed to take any control of that f5 square. But otherwise, he does this, and then the g-pawn is really weak. So I just don't have a great response, so I tried to activate another, you know, I tried to activate my knight. But I guess what I'm supposed to do is this. And then play knight e6, which, you know, makes sense. But I also thought, like, my only play maybe was coming from the weak e-pawn, so... I don't know. But now we get here. I think white is supposed to play d5, but because now he can lock the position now that my pawn is on e5, and then this has no chance of getting out. And the two knights are very good, so... But this move was also extremely annoying, because now he just puts a knight... Well, I thought he was going to play knight e4. I can't stop him from doing it anyway. But okay, he puts a little bit of pressure there. That's a blunder, but like, what am I going to do this? I don't really know. Apparently I have to just let him have it, which is... Okay, I should just resign if that's happening. But now he like has this knight here, and it's just going to stay there forever. Because I don't have enough pawn, and I thought I was going to be able to kick him out with my knight, but then he just puts the other knight here. I'm getting a notification, only visible to you. Remind your viewers to follow. This could be a good time to remind viewers to follow you so they can catch your next stream. You hear that? Okay. So this sucks. Like, it's gonna put a rook here. I mean, I really wanted to resign. The light scores are weak. This sucks. This has no hope of ever getting out because of the blockade, and this knight is worth my queen and my knight, my bishop, my king. So I'm just trying to trade it off, but then he goes here. Oh, okay. He goes there. Now I was thinking h4 might be coming at some point. And he just reinforces the knight. I also thought having the queen here is really not fun for me either, because I just have nothing to do. But that move I'm just coping. Maybe I like get some artificial like sense of accomplishment by playing a4. And I take, and he plays knight takes, which I wasn't expecting, but it makes sense because he's doing this. So I felt like this was the right, well, this might be the right time to take on e4, actually, because he can't take back with the knight, but the queen being on e4 is just as horrible, because my bishop, like, all my pawns are on dark squares, and it's like, how is it going to be rerouted without just the king dying? It's just a really, really awful game. So I played rook f8, I don't know. I'm coping. He takes with the knight. At least I stopped a knight from coming here, but still I have nothing to do. I was still afraid of h4 happening at some point, so he played h3. That's why I did that. And now I'm just pushing pawns because I have nothing else to do. Put a rook here. I don't know. He can just do this if he wants to. It seemed like a good move to me. It keeps saying like dubious or something, but it goes from like +4 to +3. It's like it doesn't matter. Yeah. I missed his threat, so he's threatening something here. So maybe this is at least fun. Find a little white to play and win. The reason this game is important because it kind of set the tone for the tournament. The follower thing is working. So the funny thing is, okay, so he has knight f6 right now, but he could also just take here and then play knight f6, because what am I not going to take back? But yeah, knight f6 is really brutal. If I take with the bishop, he has queen g6. This is getting mated. So I did this to cope. And then he won that pawn, so I resigned. That was where I drew the line. Terrible game. Okay. I also want to say that I noticed for this tournament, my calculation was just not there. I was just not able to calculate anything. You can see that in this next game. But I was having trouble leaving this game in the past, I think, because it just made me feel so dumb. So everything I did was just stupid, you know? Everything I did was dumb, so I kind of felt a little bit bad about myself. But I wasn't admitting it to myself. I was like, okay, it's fine. I'll learn from it. It's just like typically the attitude I like to have, but here, I don't think I actually felt that way. I think I was just saying I did. But then in the next game,